Good day, everyone. You're welcome to our class for today. And today on basic science, we are going to wrap up our topic on environmental pollution. We've taken environmental pollution on different areas. We have seen the different type of environmental pollution, 3 of them: air, soil, and water. We have actually seen the effects of pollution in our environment and in our health. Then we are going to see how you and I, those of us that live within the environment that these pollutions are taking place, what are some measures we can take? What can we do to help ourselves? We might not be able to exhaust all the information on how we can control pollution, but we're going to take a few of it. How can we, humans, or those living within the pollutant environment, help ourselves to a degree? The first one is we must take care of our waters. Take care of your water source. Remember when we discussed about waterborne disease? I told you that waterborne disease is a result of contaminating toxic water, waters that have been infected, and once it goes into the system, it becomes harmful for the health of an individual. So number one, control it. Make sure that the water you are taking in, you are consuming, have a good natural source. And in spite of the source the water comes from, please treat your water. We should have treated water. Consume treated water. Use things that you know that can be of help to you. And water treatment, there are a lot of them out there. There are a lot of water treatment materials out there that you can use to refine your water to an extent. So make sure that the water you take in, a source of water, it's well taken care of. Then number 2, I want to talk about this. Discourage the use of chemical materials on soil. Agriculture has been made so easy that we have different chemicals that we use in processing our farm produce, or will I say in taking care of the process before it gets to harvesting. The use of herbicides, the use of pesticides, the use of fertilizers, and the rest of them. Before you introduce anything into the soil you want to use for agricultural purpose, please be sure to know the degree of effect it will have on your crops and the effect it will have on the soil, so that you don't use chemical substance, chemical materials that will cause more harm than good to the crops, to the plants, and then give us poor yield as a result of these chemical substances. So be sure that you don't introduce more chemicals into the system. Most times it's even better that we use our normal working system with our cutlasses. If we can't use the cutlasses, there are other machines that we can use to weed grasses. There are ways you can do it and you'll be able to use it without causing harm to the crop. I remember once these grasses dies off as a result of chemical being introduced into the soil, it has negative effects on the soil. And once this grass is decomposed into the soil, the adverse effects become more and it causes more harm than good. So be careful. Know what you know will give you better yield before you introduce them into the soil. Environmental sanitation. Our environmental sanitation agency should please wake up. Stop taking bribes. Instead, do the work you are supposed to do. We have environmental agencies that are supposed to ascertain the level of pollution control by industries, by different firms, to see the control measure they have put in place and find out if this pollution are being controlled to the minimum. Even if it is not going to be in full control, at least a reduction in the way it goes into the system will go a long way. So instead of our agency going out there collecting money, leaving the supervisory work they want to do, doing all sort of things in order to put money into their pocket, please remember that the health of others are in your hands. They are at stake. Put in place good measures and then inform these people, these industries, on how they can put control measure to the pollution that goes out of their hydro engines. They should know what they introduce into the air so that people around them do not suffer greatly. So our sanitation agency, please do something to help the matter. So let's not sell off our health in the name of making money. Sanitation agency, please do your best. Help our country, help our community, help our cities to gain a minimum fresh air that they are taking in, instead of allowing more toxic to go into the air without any control measure. Now, the fourth one is good sewage disposal. Most of the sewage system we have at home is defective. I am still going to talk to sanitation agencies that we have. It's their duty, it's their function to go out there and monitor what is happening around. Neighbors around a home that have a poor sewage disposal, cry out to the appropriate agency so that they can come and help the situation. Remember that if your water is contaminated by feces, the harm will be there. The health challenge will come, and many persons will suffer the effect. So in your home, what kind of sewage disposal do you have? Is it well built? Is it well in control? Is it positioned in a way that it won't cause harm to natural sources of water? So please, agencies that are concerned with our environment, try as much as possible to create awareness. Create awareness out there. Let people know that poor sewage disposal have effects in the environment, have effects on their health, and have effects on the health of others. So we need to be informed. Information is power. Some of them don't know the consequences of having a poor sewage disposal. And once they are not aware of it, and even if they are aware of it, remember that humans need constant reminder. They need to be reminded of the negative effect of it. And do you know that humans sometimes learn by force? Punish those who break these laws. Punish those who don't follow environmental laws, so that others will learn from it. If they know that Mr. A was punished as a result of not having a good sewage disposal, Mr. B will be on his toe to put things in order. And that's how they pass the information from one person to another. At the end of the day, they will be able to put in place how these sewage disposal are going to function well. Then, disposing of toxic waste. So refuse, dispose toxic refuse well. Industries. What are you throwing into our environment, our waters, our land? Please make sure that your wastes are well taken care of. Process them in such a way that it will not be too much, that it will not cause much havoc on those living around. Oil companies, what control have you put in place for your oil spillage? What measures have you put in place to save the environment? There are medical refuse that are toxic. The lead, the whatever thing you know is toxic substance that are being used out there in the medical world, in the chemical world. Please, save our ecosystem. Save our health. Save our environment by trying as much as possible. Don't be stingy with money you will use to put things in order. Sanitation agencies that are found in this country, do your best to monitor what goes on out there, because environmental pollution is at increase. It is causing more harm to the country than good. And many persons are going, they are losing their lives. We are suffering one form of disease or the other. The rate of cancer, the rate of other things that, other diseases that are coming up as a result of pollution in the environment is going at an increasing rate. So let's do something to help this country to salvage the situation and to help ourselves. Though the list is not exhausted, but this is where we are going to call it a day in our class for today. We have covered pollution as it regards basic science as a subject for JS1. Please go over the class again. You can rewatch all the episodes on environmental pollution. I think this is the 4th or the 5th episode on environmental pollution on basic science. So please, be part of our class. Learn something and take action. One thing is to learn. Another thing is to take action. Always learn and take action. In our next class on basic science, we're going to talk about non-living things, living and non-living things. If you want to enjoy that class too, be part of our class on basic science. If you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. If you wish to download our videos to young ones out there to learn something, go ahead, download. If you want to share the video, share with your friends you know will benefit from it. If you want to have all our courses on basic science, you can go to our website, classonlineschool.com. You will be able to purchase these courses. They are just for a token. Thank you for being part of our class. See you in our next class.